Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's just finished. West Ham United 0, Everton 0. Gonzo, are you happy?
I think so. I thought we were going to get thrashed basically today, so I'll take a 0-0 against Everton, who are a good team.
Tom, lineup came out, four changes, tactical change. When you seen the team set up after 5-10 minutes in the game, were you thinking Bilic has got this spot on?
Do you know what? For the first time in a while, I think that formation worked against a pretty attacking Everton side. I thought they would perform a lot better than they did today, and I think he has outclassed Kerman tactically today, and that's probably one of the first times we can say all season that he's actually performed, tactically a masterclass on another manager. I think he had to make some of the changes today. We had to have the likes of Randolph had to drop out for Adrian. And obviously with suspensions and injuries and such, I think he's done brilliantly, and the formation just worked today. It really did work against an attacking Everton side, and it just broke them down completely today, and just sort of stagnated any attack that they had or they have had the last few weeks, and why they've been performing so well.
There wasn't much highlights to talk about. We used to talk about the highlights, Gonzo, but neither team really had a chance that was sort of gift-edged.
No, I thought we had the best of the attacking in the first half, certainly. Well, in the second half, I thought we were a better team, slightly. There wasn't much in it. If anything, the highlight was the fact that we did defend so well and that Bilic's tactics were so good. I think that's probably... There's so many times we've stood in this very spot and bemoaned the fact that the tactics were poor, and today I thought we were better than the sum of our parts.
At half-time, it was 0-0, Gonzo. Were you worried? Because over this season, whenever we played well in one half, we've sort of gone out in the second half and shot ourselves in the foot. So were you worried at 0-0? You're thinking, well, we haven't quite seen the best of Everton yet. We've not quite seen the worst of West Ham either.
Well, I wasn't worried until you said to me, I was actually quite confident our first half was good. I was feeling quite confident. You said to me, hold on, we've not strung two good halves together yet. And when you planted the seed of doubt in my mind, I thought, oh, actually, he's quite right, So, yeah, maybe, but I thought there was a resilience about us today, and I was quite confident that we'd carry it through, to be fair, and perhaps nick something at the end. I was disappointed we didn't nick something.
As we said, there's not much highlights to talk about. You probably know that anyway. But Tom, Lukaku rocked up here, 9-9 against us. Did you even see him on that pitch today?
I tell you what, Ginger Collins, since he's come back into his team, has been an absolute... He's just been fantastic. He's been the Ginger Collins of old, and he just completely put Lukaku in his back pocket all afternoon. I thought that the back three worked well for the first time this season together. I think all three of them were fantastic. I think Masuaku at times, they just, like I said, any attacking threat that we've seen from Everton in the past few weeks, we know that how potent they can be in front of goal. They've just shut them down completely. I mean, we didn't see anything from Barkley, we didn't see anything from Morales, we didn't see anything from Lukaku. I mean, they barely had a look in until I think Lookman had their first shot on target for the entire game. I mean, it was surprising to see. So like I said at the start, Bilic just pulled an absolute masterstroke today, and it was nice to see, someone like Ginger Pello, who is so, passionate for the cause, to perform so well, because he was first to every ball, he was winning every header, he was marking up, he was chasing after everything that we've wanted to see in the past few weeks, of just passionate West Ham going for it and performing well, and just, we don't care sometimes if we lose, we always say, we just want to see heart, we want to see fight, and we saw that today, and James Collins was an absolute machine at the back today, and he was just absolutely sensational. He just took Lukaku completely out of the game.
Best defensive performance you've seen from West Ham this season?
I think so. He played a back three, as Tom said. It worked for the first time, it seemed. But he also played two stoppers in front of that back three, and that worked. They stopped. The two stoppers stopped it. Nordveit and Kiate. No messing, no mucking around, no frills. They just won the ball effortlessly, and they've got some good players. Lukaku, Morales and Barkley in particular. They were nullified.
I think we almost had a back 10 today. Do you know that? I actually thought we were fighting from the front. I thought Kalede was running after the defenders, while Lanzini and Ayew was shutting them down as quickly as they can. And they couldn't do it. Kiate, Nordveit and Masuaku and Fernandes were right up behind them, trying to push them down. And if they somehow got past that, I'm not digging out Fonte, but I thought Reid and Collins in particular, as soon as the ball got to Lukaku, they were just booting away from his foot. No, like you said, there was no messing, no fancy stuff. If we have to hoof out for a throw, just boot out for a throw. And I thought the crowd appreciated that today. I thought every time we cleared it away from Lukaku, everybody gave a round of applause. They say that's what we want to see. I thought we carry that through. Tom, are we sort of a Lukaku short of winning games like this?
I think it's interesting because, you know, we performed so well today, and like Gonza said it at the end, we probably had a chance to nick it. We were the team that deserved to win at the end. And although I guess we had our chances, we are. I think a game like this today shows that we are a top striker away from potentially nicking a game like this 1-0 or something. And it's a shame because I think although I'm amazed that we picked up a point, and I'm happy we picked up a point, it does show, and you know that potentially if we'd have had a striker at the summer that you know we'd have spent and we'd have put the money on that they could have nicked a goal at the end, but you know we've had to deal with it today, unfortunately, and. You know, but I think it does highlight massively, and like I said, I think some weeks we can say it's down to Bilic's fault that you know the team haven't performed well or something. But today, when the team has performed well and Bilic has got his tactics spot on, that it is actually the striker that is needed. You know, there is a signing that was needed in the summer by the board to almost complete the team today. And yeah, we were that top striker away from probably winning this game.
Unless you're a West Ham fan under a rock this week, you'll know there was a lot of chat about our goalkeeper. There was a lot of talk about Sacco and Bilic having an argument, etc., etc. What pressure going into today for different reasons other than results going? So, are you sort of relieved and pleased that we've come out the other end thinking those questions that have been asked about, does he have the balls to drop his keeper? Does he have the balls to sort of solve this row with Sacco? They've been answered today, do you think?
Oh, Bilic comes out with a lot of credit today. I think it's easy. I've seen it, not just Bilic. Funny enough, England managers, in many respects, I've seen in England managers, they almost get caught like a startled sort of deer in the headlights, and they freeze. And they pick the wrong players just because their habit tells them to do so, and they don't really have the sort of flexibility to change something up. And you think, just change it. Your job is dependent on it. Well, today Bilic did that. His job's in the balance. I don't care what anyone says. No one will convince me any different, regardless of what noises come out from the club, vote of confidence, whatever. His job is in the balance. If he finishes the season poorly, he will be replaced. And actually, then it's actually quite brave to think, actually, I'm not going to stick with what I've done. I'm going to go 3 at the back. I'm going to pick Norvite, even though he's been heavily criticised. I'm going to drop the keeper, as you alluded to as well. And even though I don't have a striker, really, he didn't, I'm going to go with whatever I can. And it showed sort of a self-preservation for his job, which is very, very good and bodes very well because it shows that actually his self-preservation for his job overrides any loyalty to any players, and that's a very, very good thing. Make no mistake about it. The manager should be looking after his own job and looking after the team. And I think he put himself and he put the club first today.
So just a very quick answer. You said it's in the balance. I'd say it was 50-50 before the game. After today, are you thinking it's slightly more in favour of Bilic keeping his job?
I think so, because I think the point makes us safe, and I now think he's got the remaining games to just add on to that and sort of try and cement a mid-table-ish finish.
Tom, we're not that far away from the top half all of a sudden. I mean, we've always been quite close, but after today, are you sort of thinking, with a performance like that, we can actually look to the top half, considering that we've still got Stoke, still got Burnley, there are points that we can get, and we always raise our games against the bigger teams, so to speak, against Liverpool and Spurs?
I think it's interesting because, adding on to what Gonzo said, it's just a shame that we can't see that sort of same tactical masterclass from Bilic every week, because he definitely has it in his locker. We saw a lot of that last season, and it's a shame that it's taken until...
Just to interrupt, do you think maybe that having Antonio, Obiang, Noble, first team picks by default, if you're like, out, has actually helped Bilic pull off this tactical one-up on Koeman?
It probably has, yeah, because he's actually had to, for the first time this season, actually think about, okay, who's going where, who am I going to play in different positions. But I think it's helped because I think, like, we saw Havard Nordvigt's probably had his best game in a West Ham shirt playing in defensive midfield. We've seen Collins is reinvigorated, he's feeling good. Reed is on another level. It's just, and I think it has helped him completely today. But I mean, yeah, but just what can you say? It's just he's fantastic today.
I said to you at the start, I thought Bilic got the first 11 bang on. I said to you, even if we get beat today, I'm not going to criticise Bilic's first 11, because I thought when I seen it written down, I thought that's it, that's the first 11, probably the best you could do with. There was a couple of, one square peg and round hole with Fernandes, but he didn't really have much other option really. You could have went for Goulet, but I think Fernandes was the right choice. And you're right, I think he's sort of got one up on Koeman a little bit, and I consider Koeman to be the best manager in the league. I do, and I think massive credit to Bilic, but massive credit to the players today. I thought all 11 players out today were fighting. What they were fighting for, I don't know. Were they fighting for the club, the badge, the fans, the manager? I don't know. Each other? I don't know. They were fighting for something, though. There's something in there. All of them 11 players thought, if I don't win the first ball, I'm going to win the second one. And very rarely do we lose both. And I thought it was very pleasing to see, because I thought we might sort of muster through to the end of the season. I thought we were quite safe, and I wondered if we were sort of going to do that whole on the beach, pick up 1 or 2 points between now and the end of the season and it's finished. Today, I saw an 11 that suggests, hang on, our season's not finished yet, we can still pick up a point, we can still put good performances in, and we can still get top half football. But let's start wrapping this off. Tom, last words before, no man of match yet, but your last words.
To add again to what you said, I think just generally today, the atmosphere inside the stadium was one of probably the best I've felt this season. Like, the crowd were really G'd up and behind the team, and I think that actually relayed to the players, because every time that someone was running for a loose ball or making that second cause, they wanted to fight for it, and that's what we've all said collectively, the last reviews and the last shows. Why can't we see that same fight at Sunderland, at Swansea, at thingy? Like, even at Swansea the other week, it wasn't the best performance, but we showed a great defensive heart. Today we showed great defensive play, and the heart and the desire to want to win and actually keep this club safe. It was fantastic today, and it was just unfortunate that it's come with 5 games left to go. But as a last thought, it's just a shame that we couldn't nick it, because after that we fully deserved to come away with the 3 points today.
Gonzo, final words.
I think the lack of 20-odd fit, creative, first-team standard players forced creative thinking. And I think in that sense, Bilic came up trumps today. He was forced to think creatively and think on his feet. I think he did that, and I think he did very, very well.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is Bilic's got a hard choice now, because Ogbona's back next weekend. I think Bilic should stay with the same starting 11, really. Even if Sakho's a little bit fitter as well, I think he says, no, sorry, the 11 that played against Everton did fantastically well. And I see, when I came down here after the game, someone said that was our best performance today. And I get what he means. We can beat Palace and we can beat Burnley and Hull at home, but they're poor teams. We've played a very, very good team today with a lot to play for. We only got a point, but we're missing a lot of players. If you write down the 11 that started and 11 that didn't start, I think the 11 that didn't start would arguably beat them on paper. So I thought he did fantastic. But let's start wrapping this up. Before we do that, before the man of the match, on your screen round about now, you'll see is a video with our interview with Antonio was sent the 2 Charlies along to have a little chat with them at Pro Soccer Direct. So thank you to Pro Soccer Direct for inviting them. You subscribe to our channel and comment below where your favourite Antonio goal. You're in with a chance of winning a pair. There's another boot. I've hit another one.
Just one boot.
There's a pair of signed Mikel Antonio boots. So you want to get your hands on them, get involved. But Tom, who's your man of the match? I think you've got quite a lot to choose from today for once.
I know, blimey. It has to be one of the defenders. It's so difficult, but I'll special mentions for Masuaku, best game in a West Ham shirt by far, attacking and defending. Nordveit, best game in a West Ham shirt by far, attacking and defending. Reed was fantastic and Fonte was brilliant. But Ginger Collins, the last few weeks, has been a man possessed, and the fight and passion he's shown is what we've been looking for all season long and we've been lacking in, and he's showed it tenfold today, and I'm just so glad that he's come trumps at the right time for us, because he's the kind of spirit, and when Noble's not there, he's that guy, and he's just been absolutely fantastic today.
Gonzo, man of match.
I'll give it to you in a second. Ginger Pele, watch my vlog at the end. The way he climbs into the crowd and he spends time with those fans is absolutely phenomenal. What a guy, what a legend. My man of the match, they threw a tactical little switcheroo. Fernandez and Masuaku dyed their hair blonde. They didn't know whether they were coming or going. They didn't know who was left. They didn't know who was right. Masuaku was left though, and he was my man of the match.
I'm picking a player different to you, but I wanted to say a special well done to, you mentioned Nordveit. I thought he was fantastic in our centre midfield today. Only the second time I think he started in that natural position of his. He was almost like a European Mark Noble, if that makes sense. I thought he was a little bit like a cultured Mark Noble. I thought he was brilliant today. He really was. Mark Noble's back next week. If I was Bilic, I wouldn't play him. I would keep Nordveit and Kayati. I thought they both played fantastic. But my man in match is a centre back as well. But it's not Collins, it's Reed. I thought Reed just brought a certain calmness to the defence. There was a lot less panicking with his presence. I thought quite often he was hoofing away from Lukaku. I thought he was just fantastic, actually. But anyway, let us know who you think is man of the match. You can do that in the comments below or on our forum at hammerschat.com. Make sure you hit the subscription button. Check out the Antonio video. We'll put in the link in the description below as well. And we'll be back Gonzo will have his vlog up on Sunday.
2 boots. There are 2 boots.
And Gonzo will have his vlog up on Sunday. We'll be back with our preview next week for the Stoke game. Thank you for joining us. Come on, West Ham.